Hey YouTube, what's up? We're here with I forget the name of this league, the PDL Draft League PRs. I'm not a part of this league, but I got three people here with me that are. We have Ada Love, the coach of the Los Angeles Rush Rams. Say hi.
Oh,
Sorry.
hi. Sorry.
My bad. My bad. We
I'm
have,
stupid.
we have Chris, the coach of the Toronto Cats.
Hey, what's up?
And we have Sammy, the coach of Wash Your Hands, because we're in the pandemic.
Hey, what's up?
Beautiful, beautiful. So we're here. We already did all of the boring deliberation for you guys, so you guys don't have to watch that, even though we know that's your favorite part. You don't just skip to the final rankings. We know you don't just skip to the final rankings. But, so this
No.
video isn't 3 hours long. We're just going to go from bottom to top on the teams we thought were the worst to best, just to give an overall sense of, at the beginning of the season, how we think the teams are going to play out. Having said that all, oh, I'm Vanilla, by the way. Hi, nice to meet you. You probably don't know who I am, which is fine. Um, who wants to start us off with the very bottom team, the number 12?
Right, so there's four of us here,
Right, so one of
so
us.
we can all take three times.
Sounds good, sounds good. Simple math.
All right. Yeah, simple math, man.
I think we can all talk about it. So
Yeah, but who wants to start it?
let's get it through. The worst of us, probably, in our opinion, is the Venetian Victinis.
Yeah,
I
I don't know how to say that word.
don't know either, but let's go on
Venetian, I believe.
with
Oh, that's a
having
cool word.
4 dark types, I think. 1, 2, 3. No, 3.
It wasn't
3 dark types.
yeah, it wasn't the dark types per se, but like let's count the bug and dark weaknesses here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 bug and dark, the combination of bug and dark weaknesses. All those weaknesses stack up, and they're not going to be able to be walled by Alola by himself. Alola and Heatran. It's just not possible. On top of that, the ghost weakness and fairy weakness is also pretty crazy. Like the stack is kind of insane. Um,
You put one fairy with hidden power ground, and it goes for the whole team, man.
yeah, it's gonna be really tough to build around.
It puts way too much defensive pressure on the Heatran Alomomola,
Mhm.
especially with hidden power.
Mhm.
You know? And then that mixed with just in my opinion, weak weak offensive threats, specifically drafting a Mega Gallade as a high tier Mega.
Mhm. And also capping speed at Mega Gallade is not ideal either in a Nat Dish league, where if you look around at other teams, there's fast threats everywhere, and peaking at Mega Gallade, which can't be scarfed, is really rough too. I keep coming back to the weaknesses, but the bug, fairy, ghost, and dark weaknesses they're just everywhere, and
It's ridiculous.
it's gonna be. I'd hate to say you can't win this with this team because I think you definitely can, but that means you're not able to bring. You're not gonna be able to bring Hydreigon, Decidueye, Eldegoss in one week because they're all
Well,
way
you
too
kind of
bad.
forced to play the same Pokemon
Mhm.
a lot.
Yeah. So you're gonna be seeing Heatran, Mega Gallade, and Alomola on every team, so you're not super weak to Dark or you're not super weak to Bug, right? Which limits the options, which limits the rest of the team.
Which
Uh,
even oh never mind, Heatran resist bug.
Oh right, yeah.
the,
Well, yeah, initially, but that's one resist.
the teams.
Yeah, I was looking at a Mega Gallade Haxorus Alomomola.
Hmm.
But yeah, with Heatran.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Tiny bit better, not really though.
The team has rocks with Heatran, Renewtrus,
Yes.
that's it, and also Toxic Spikes, I guess.
Remove us.
The removal's pretty good. All of his free picks have removal, and
Mhm.
considering not everyone has that many options. It's pretty decent. That's probably what I'd vote as the best part about his team is his hazard control, not his hazard setting, though.
Yeah, but even then,
Yeah.
like all of that's weak to bug. I mean,
Yeah.
You don't need Stealth Rock against this team.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So for those
Yeah,
reasons, we yeah.
Removal isn't like as necessary as.
Yeah, for sure.
Do we move on to the place 11?
Yeah, so for those reasons, we couldn't justify it beating the number 11, which is
The
the
Singapore Greninjas.
yes, sir.
So immediately I'm going to sort of walk into this team and I'm going to say, this looks like a team that was drafted after the draft, which as a coach it was, because there's certain picks that don't make much sense. It looks like they were leftovers.
Yeah,
Alongside that, I'm immediately saying, like, there's a little bit of coherence. There's like Bulu, Mega Mawile, but then after that, everything sort of just looks off. I don't think there's much chemistry between most of these Pokemon.
There's a lot of the slightly bulky mons, and if you feel like when you look at this team, you know almost exactly what most of the Pokemon are going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everyone knows what Blaziken is about to do, or Regirock, or I don't know, like Pyukumuku.
The two like main walls being Pyukumuku and Blissey have like pretty much no diversity when it comes to like answer spreads.
Yeah, and
I feel like this team has a lot of weaknesses, like common weaknesses, and they stack as well. So
yeah. The issue is more that it definitely looks like a team of the leftovers for sure, because you have really good offensive Pokemon. Like you got Blacephalon, he's great, but he does one thing. He does that one thing. Mega Mawile, no, zero switch-ins. A Mega Mawile switch-in doesn't exist. Don't even try to find one. Tapu Bulu obviously works as a great breaker. Barraskewda is a great breaker. So we got good breakers here. But then to support the breakers, you got okay walls. You got average walls in Pyukumuku and Blissey, both of which get completely stopped by taunt. Audino is odd average, even though I think Audino is wonderful. The trio has no trapping ability, so I don't know why it's tier 4. The only reason it's in tier 4 is because it can't trap, and that just means it's a liability. It can set rocks, I guess. But
it has an alright speed tier.
Yeah, it's got the speed tier, but the trio, the only thing that makes it great is that it can trap things, and it can't do that anymore.
But
So, yeah. Anything else?
He has one defogger, and that's all his removal.
Yeah.
And also, other than Volt Switch on Rotom-Mow, I don't think there's any other Volt
Fitting
Switch,
options.
meaning that it's going to be kind of hard to get momentum or initiative.
Blissey gets teleport.
Oh, okay.
Well, other than that, I mean, teleport's really helpful here actually, because you can wish teleport into a Mawile or Blacephalon. You don't have to go hard into them, but
yeah, I see.
a taunt on Blissey just completely shuts that down. Yeah, so we gave that the 11.
And next on the list we have the Guilford Gardevoirs. And they only have 10 Mons on their team. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, they only drafted 10 Mons because of their point totals. It's kind of a weird call in my opinion, but does someone want to take over?
Well, if you look at the team, the first 4 picks look quite good together as a whole, but I feel like after that the team just kind of
falls apart.
falls apart.
Yeah.
And I don't know. When I see this Pokemon, I'm feeling and I'm thinking like, how the fuck can you not afford another Pokemon?
Mhm.
Yeah, because like these first three are good, but if you sacrifice a whole Pokemon, you'd want your lower tiers to be all value, right? You want the value tier 4s, and you want the value tier 5s, and you want your free picks to be as good as they can be. But like Scissor's good, but pairing it like Moltres, that's has to run boots, or else you're getting destroyed by rocks. Mean Xiao is okay. I'm not a big fan of Mean Xiao. Good assault vest user, good offensively, but not great. Wigglytuff is okay. Wishpasser, very frail. Raichu, not the greatest thing to peak speeds with, but it's alright. Speed tiers, also kind of okay. I mean, goes from Raichu to, I believe, Zygarde or Gardevoir.
Mienshao, I think.
Oh, Mansion, yeah,
Isn't it?
yeah, I think so. Either way, the speed tiers goes from Raichu to something like, I think it's a 20-point drop or something like that. Which
It
again,
goes from 110 to 105.
oh yeah, oh never mind, my bad. Oh, that's right, because
No, that's good.
I got you.
Well, again, 110 speed.
Yeah, that's even
At
worse.
max.
Yeah, 110 speed isn't too great when you got Pokemon outspeeding that. Not easily, but there's so many in draft. Like, it's just not great. And viable Scarfers here consist of like Mian Xiao and Raichu. And you don't want to Scarf Zygarde because your team is kind of missing reliable bulk. I mean, Milotic is the definition of reliable bulk, but Bronzong Skuntank, this other like defensive pull here. If you can't get Wish Passes off or if rocks are up, being not like being hindered in passing while a reliable recovery outside of rest to Bronzong Skuntank is going to be annoying, especially because Moltres is taking 25 from rocks, and Skuntank or Moltres takes 50 from rocks actually. Scizor can defog, but the point is that after these three or these four, the team kind of it doesn't work as well for the value you got them for.
I feel like we're missing like a good physical breaker. Besides, like, if Zygarde is bulky, for example, like, what is gonna break?
Scizor kind of breaks.
Scissor?
I mean,
Yeah,
Technician,
but that
yeah. That needs to dance. That needs to dance at least once.
Also, the fact that he's missing like a physical wall breaker kind of forces Zygarde to run like Dragon Dance or like targeting Bandage Set most weeks.
Yeah.
So,
In the end, he
could have been put to better use.
has how many rockers? 3?
3 rockers.
3 rockers and 1, 2, 3 defoggers. That's one.
Yes.
No spinner?
No spinner. Not horrible.
That's
I
bad.
think three defoggers are alright, but
I like spin.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, for those reasons, for the team like missing a Pokemon and then kind of falling apart from Skuntank down, we decided to put it at the 10th spot. No wait, yeah, 10th spot.
11. No, 10th spot. My
Yeah.
bad.
Don't worry.
Alright. Then 9th place. Bolton Baldorus.
So
Megalopony
the team
is the fastest one, I think.
yes, right?
Yeah, you wanted to say something? Go on.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that overall, I think these first 4 picks again are pretty good, but okay, start with removal, right? You got Donphan and Coco. Now, it's not like horrible, but spin blocker means if the opponent has a ghost type, you're not able to run spin, which means Coco needs to be defog, which means you don't want to switch it into rocks over and over again. So you want to run boots, and then you might be forced into screens and roost, and it's kind of Coco is one of those Pokemon that needs to thrive in draft. It needs to be able to do everything. Like it can be a threat, especially physically, defensively, screens, pivots, removal. But in this team, it gets constricted down to one or two roles. Mega Lopunny, I really like obviously Mega Lopunny is super powerful, right? It does one thing, but it does that one thing really well. Golisopod, I think that's a great tier 4. Dusclops, very good wall, but like again, your quote unquote like your walls, like reliable recovery. Registeel has rest, I guess. Quagsire has recover, obviously. Dusclops, again, like rest. Arcanine.
Pain Splint.
Pain Split. My bad. But Sylveon, as this double fairy with Coco, can get like kind of frustrating. Overall, the team isn't like god awful. It can never succeed, but constricting Coco to removal and like
He also constricted to run Donphan as a removal option.
Yeah.
The thing is, also again, I feel like all your walls are like, you know exactly what they do. You know exactly what Registeel does. You know what Dusclops does. You know what even Lopunny does. I mean,
yeah. And because of the team constraints, you're gonna know what Donphan and Coco's gonna do most of the time, right? Sylveon always wish passes. Arcanine actually I think is cool here because it can kind of go either way. It can Morning Sun, Intimidate Wall, or you can like Bandit or something. Shaman, always one of those mons that can go like all kinds of different directions. Grass typing is really good. Quagsire, we were talking about it kind of being unnecessary with Golisopod, but Quagsire is awesome and I respect you for it. I tried to rank you 1, but they just said no.
also, there's not a real good switch into several attacks. Like, for example, Earthquake, you have Shaman and maybe Golisopod. But Golisopod also doesn't want to switch into rocks. So, eject button is a thing. Rocks plus a Bandit EQ, maybe 50%. And then you're out of the field again.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, the kind of being forced into roles and the not lack of synergy, but there's like a couple things missing is why we have it at 9th. But still, the team can succeed for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It can succeed. It just needs to do a little more work to do so.
Yeah.
When it comes to rocks, we have again Registeel and Donphan. Is that it?
Right. Yeah. And also
removal, Donphan and Tapu Koko.
And also, I want to preface we're not trying to just like hate on people's teams. Every team obviously can succeed, like play correctly. I'm in a different league where Mono Psychic is in playoffs right now. It's about what you're comfortable with, how you play the team. But just like what we can see from here, the teams by themselves, standalone, without coaching, without how you play them. From what just we see here is what we're making these determinations on.
Exactly. So,
8th.
next team.
The number 8 slot, we have the Philadelphia Flygons.
Yes.
And they got an interesting mega choice, being Mega Pinsir, which I know you guys were saying with the team surrounding it, it definitely doesn't have the support it needs. And on top of that, this team is also has probably a few too many flying types with not enough rocks removal to kind of support the Pinsir and then also just like gel together without it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's also a big threat with Edgequake.
Yes. Yeah. And the thing is that if you're gonna have Mega Pinsir on your team, like the whole team needs to be kind of about keeping rocks off the field, getting webs up or removing whatever is faster than Pinsir, which is a lot because I believe it only I think it hits 339, which isn't horrible. Obviously, it gets quick attack, stab quick attack, but quick attack is kind of mitigated because Tapu Lele sets psychic terrain and quick attack can't hit now. So that kind of hurts itself. Talonflame and Pinsir both take 50% from rocks after Mega Evolving. And I think Talonflame is here to get the priority defog off, which means it has to run boots, right? Which means it can't be banned or scarf or any of that. Gliscor, one of the best, in my opinion, rockers and defoggers. Just super solid mon overall. Works really well with Pinsir, but it's just Gliscor is the only thing that works super well with Pinsir on this team. Cramorant, I love Cramorant, and it's a good defogger, but overall, against other teams, rock types is going to be something's going to have rock coverage for Pinsir and for Talonflame. So Cramorant kind of just hurts the operation more. This core, oh sorry, Melmetal, Tapu Lele, those are both some of the greatest breakers physically and especially in my opinion. But overall, the team as a whole kind of gets hurt by Pinsir more than anything. The team would work better if Pinsir were off the team, rather than trying to get a spinner and a web setter through free agency or trades. If you're able to get a different Mega for Pinsir, just because the team kind of struggles to support without more removal and better options.
Well, yeah, it's better to remove the Mega than to remove the whole team.
Yeah, sadly.
So, let's go over the normal rock thing again.
Hey, Stealth Rock's Pinsir, man.
Rocks. Sandaconda has rocks. Cofagrius has toxic spikes.
I think it's spikes and toxic spikes.
It spikes too. I'm not sure.
I'm wrong about that?
I don't think so. But, then removal, Talonflame, Gliscor, Cramorant, but it's all flying types. It's just kind of forced to run boots. And I don't like being forced to run boots.
Just spikes, yeah. I like this. I like your bulk. I really do like your bulk, though. I like this Goodra, Melmetal, Toxapex thing you got here. And then Tapu Lele and Gliscor. I think that's a really cool core. But I think it's better if Pinsir weren't, not in the way, but if Pinsir weren't in the way. If something was there to support that.
Mm-hmm. The other thing with this team, a kind of redeeming factor, is that because its core is so good, Pinsir is in A tier Mega. It's in the second tier. So that kind of allowed him more free points.
Yeah, for sure. Because the whole
means that he doesn't have to rely on Pinsir.
Yeah, for sure.
Every week, that's the one redeeming factor about taking Pinsir.
Yeah, for sure. The team is good. Don't get us wrong here. I know we're harping on the fact that the team doesn't work with Pinsir very well, but the truth of the matter is it doesn't. But the team overall is a good team. If Pinsir were gone, it'd be even better. Is just what we're trying to say.
Imagine Mega Beedrill with the new speed tiers. Would be kind of nice, actually.
That's still the rock weakness, though. I'm not sure what the tiers look like.
But if you want to keep the
if you wanted to keep the bug.
And it still hits just as hard.
Where are the megas, dude? I can't find the megas.
If not more.
Oh, is it gone? Oh, no. Watch this.
Mega Beedrill is under.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, so there are a lot of other megas here that work with Sharpedo. Man, there's look at all these mons here that weren't drafted. I guess it's isn't updated, but Mega Aggron is not drafted right now. I mean, you don't need Mega Aggron, but these are just options here. All of these mons here, Sharpedo, all of these other things that just work better with the team.
I mean, in the end, you have free switches
Mhm.
mid-season, so
Yeah,
you could do whatever you want.
yeah, for sure. And it's a good team.
All right. Next is on, I think, number 7.
Yeah.
It is hacks with heat.
Don't get me
All
started.
right,
Someone
so
else take
Vanilla,
this. Someone,
I think it's your part
someone else take this one.
to.
I'll come in after. I'll come in after.
No, I'm waiting for you.
Alright,
You
alright.
waited for this all day long.
I know you have a lot of strong opinions about this team.
All right, so I don't hate this team. Okay, I just very strongly dislike this team. So I'm gonna tell you why. Right. So your fastest mon here is Cinderace. All right, Cinderace hits 119 base speed. Okay, not horrible, but again, with faster mons in draft or in nat decks, like there's so many other like options here that Cinderace at 119 is not great, right? This kind of pseudo Suncore thing here, I'm not a big fan of. I think that as a Sunsetter, only Mega Charizard Y should abuse its Sun, because if you got Mega Charizard Y in, you're gonna have to switch hard into Venusaur, which you would have had to do with Torkoal or anything anyway. I mean, I'm not hating on that. Growth, I don't like Sun as a whole, but keeping as Mega Charizard Y as your Sunsetter is going to be really annoying, because that's 50% from rocks every turn, and you can't wear boots, which means Rotom Wash has to work overtime. Illumise, which is not going to be great, I'm telling you right now, has to work overtime. Claydol has to come to every game to spin. Cinderace can court change for sure, but that means that something else can come in. You're letting something in free on the court change, right? So overall, the team's Suncore isn't too great, and then outside of Sun, the team struggles, right? Being so slow, that means faster Pokemon can take advantage of natures, and they can run a boosting nature and attack, and then overload your kind of wall core here with Rotom, Clefable, Claydol, Cobalion, even like Dreading and Type Knowledge. Type Knowledge gets ended by a knockoff. Claydol has to come like almost every game with Rotom Wash if you're gonna want to remove stuff. So overall, I would have, if I were by myself, I'm gonna be honest, I would have put it lower. But because of these other wonderful people who see good things with the team, and there are good things, but I just feel like as a whole, it's not great.
Well, it just has no reliable Sunsetter that like can
Keep switching in.
turn up the sun for 8 rounds, for example, and has heavy duty boots, for example, if you also want that. Another spinner would be nice. I don't know. I don't know. It can't get out of my head that switch from Cinderace into Torkoal, or maybe get a different Mega if you want to.
Yeah, I think if you wanted a Suncore, you should drop like something lower down here for Torkoal, or something else to work with Charizard, right? Because Charizard being your only Sunsetter is the biggest issue. I'm not a big fan of weather in draft, like especially on teams like this, but I mean just the idea of taking 50 from rocks every single time you have to get Sun up so that you don't get outsped by stuff, because Cinderace is not slow, but that's like your fastest mon, which means Venusaur has to be out there with Chlorophyll, and Venusaur isn't the most powerful without a growth up. So that's kind of the issues I had with this team.
Yeah, that's a good opinion, actually.
Yeah, that's a very well supported opinion. I really don't have much to add on to that. I just feel like I don't have much to add on to that, honestly. But I feel like
if you are ignoring the aspect of Sun, which although it does take up like the Mega slot as well as a Tier 3 and Tier 4, I like the rest of the team around it. I think that you have some great options for setting up rocks. Of course, Claydol is a pretty reliable one, but also Clefable and Druddigon are both Mons I think are good defensive options that could carry rocks. In terms of removal, we already discussed that. Claydol and Rotom Wash both do it pretty well. Although it might turn into relying on those two a bit too much. But yeah, if the Sun is a gimmick on your team that might not work,
Yeah.
but looking at the other parts of your team, I think it's decently structured.
Yeah.
So
I totally
I mean-
agree. The only issue I have is like for revenge killers, right? That means Sun needs to be up for Venusaur. Like that's see what I'm saying? Like that's the biggest boon. But outside of the Sun, I definitely think the team is a lot better.
And also, one thing that I'm a huge fan of in draft leagues is, of course, like keeping initiative. It's a pretty important part in my eyes. And with like Cinderace, with U-Turn, Cobalion, Heliolisk,
Teleport
and
Clef.
Yeah, Teleport, Clefable. You have a bunch of good options there to just like make sure that you can keep initiative and kind of put pressure on your opponent. So,
Claydol also gets
I mean-
teleport. Sorry, my bad.
oh yeah.
The Cobalion, Rotom Wash, and Clefable is a nice core as well, actually.
Yeah, for
Sure
sure.
about it.
Yeah.
Speaking of initiative, Illumise also gets U-Turn.
Right. And Prankster Defog. Don't sleep. Prankster Tailglow. Yeah, don't even sleep on Illuminese.
Tailglow.
Hey, man.
Why not
What?
Tailglow Baton Pass, then? Why not?
Wait, can we only dry pass in this league or something like that?
I think so.
I think you can only not pass speed, I believe. I'm not sure.
Their situation, watch. He's gonna 6-0 someone.
Yeah, bro.
Actually, I'm looking at the rules right now, and you can only dry pass.
Oh, that's
So,
unfortunate.
Not
It doesn't
bad.
matter. It doesn't
Alright.
matter. It doesn't matter.
If you want to tailgate with Illumise, you're gonna have to stay in.
Doesn't matter.
Easy, man.
Illuminese is gonna sweep anyway.
Doesn't matter, man. Alright, so moving on. Place
Canberra.
number 6, Canberra Charizard. Well,
So,
we were thinking about the team. We actually liked it, but there were some Pokemon we thought could have been handled better, or let's say drafted differently. With some of your, let's say, big walls like Evelug and Pillowswine, you have a common weaknesses because they're both ice types. I mean, Pillow has, I guess, Fig Fat, but then there's still Tangela, Evelug, Pillow, Corviknight, who all take like a lot of damage from fire attacks.
Yeah. So one of the bigger issues was like your defensive backbone, right? Your defensive backbone is kind of Suicune, Avalugg, Piloswine, Tangela, Corviknight, right? Not horrible, but outside of Suicune, those all share either ground or fire weaknesses, and that's really annoying.
Not ground.
Yeah, not ground. My B. I meant
Rock.
Yeah, rock. Yeah, but those all get hit really hard. And even like Raichu, Conkeldurr, they both and Diancie, they all don't like the ground. So those are a lot of stacking weaknesses on the team with rock, fire, and ground. Suicune, which kind of forces Suicune and Mew to take care of those, which you don't want, right? And then again, like another part of your defensive backbone is your like a Violet core. Those two are super susceptible to knockoff. Whatever the word is.
Successfully.
Susceptible. Those two are
Acceptable.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Successful. I can't say the word. They're super weak to knockoff. They're super weak to knockoff, and all those stacking weaknesses with ground, rock, fire, along with. I'll let someone else talk about the removal. I feel like I'm talking way too much. Yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to say one thing, and that is that you don't run Defog Conkeldurr, so we're forcing you into running Defog Corviknight, essentially, and Mew, and Rapid Spin on Avalugg and maybe bounce things, but you're sort of limited or forcing other Pokemon into roles. Like, for instance, Corviknight can no longer be the bulk up body press set. It has to be there for hazard control, essentially.
And on the topic of forcing Pokemon into roles, one thing, although Suicune is neutral to fighting types, I know nothing on his team other than the Mew will like resist strong physical fight type, kind of forcing it into like a physically defensive kind of like Rocky Helmet or Will-O-Wisp set a lot of the time. When you have a mon that can learn every TM, you don't really want to like force it into running a similar set for most weeks.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, when drafting a Pokemon like Corviknight, I feel like you can always draft a strong dragon to work with it.
Yeah. He got the best dragon in Jackalope, so you know what? Everyone stop.
I don't feel like Conk was needed that much. Maybe a good dragon instead of Conk, and then instead of Dracolock, maybe a fighting move. Fighting.
Hey, I mean,
Conk is strong, though.
I mean, Conk is strong, but does it fit?
Not really, but, you know.
But Conk's strong after all.
We've been harping on we've been harping on the weaknesses, but what do you guys like about this team?
Diancie. I
he's
mean,
honest.
Diancie Corviknight is great.
Oh yeah, for sure. Diancie and Corviknight really cover each other really well, like especially because Diancie's weak to ground and steel, and Corviknight just resists that, right? Corviknight can also pack body press. That forces Mew to defog, but week to week, Corviknight can body press for the steals that Diancie can't be bothered with. That core with Suicune and Mew, we think that core is actually super great. Corviknight, Suicune, Mew, Diancie, awesome core.
Even I think Entei works well to kind of take care of the steel types.
Yeah, for sure. Really great core, but like the being forced into roles, having the other walls be weak to, Stone Edge, Fire Blast, and Earthquake. I guess not Earthquake so much, but definitely Fire and Rock can hurt the team. And even capping with Raichu at 110 is not great. Or actually, Dracolope is the fastest Pokemon on the team. Is it?
No, I think it only hits 102.
Isn't Raichu faster?
I really want it to be faster.
Oh, it only hits 102.
Oh, yeah. Man, it was close. I wanted it. Yeah, but that was... Oh, sorry, my bad.
There's one thing that I like about the Conkeldurr pick.
Don't leave us hanging. Did he cut out? Oh, everyone hold on to your chair.
Well, I'll just keep it going. When it comes to rocks, it's a bit... I don't know. I only see Pillow and Mew. Am I wrong? Diancie.
Yeah, there you go.
But you don't want to play Diancie
with
Stealth Rock.
Yeah, for sure.
Alright, so what I was going to mention is how...
You get to be defensive, more likely.
So, the thing I was going to mention is another sort of forcing role thing, but I feel like he's sort of locked in the fact that he's going to be running physically defensive Conkeldurr, because if he's not, it's knock off Dracloak, knock off Tangela, knock off Pillow. And most of his defense is just like
getting knocked off,
eliminated from there. So
I feel like the Diancie is a great switch for knockoff though, just because it can't use Mega Stone and it will resist. But depending on what is used in knockoff, you can always go into it.
Yeah, like super common knockoffers would be fighting types or like Bisharp comes to mind, which obviously like isn't like is one Pokemon, but yeah, you know what I mean.
I think
Mhm.
Bishop was drafted though.
Which is kind of crazy. A little bit
I
crazy.
wanted to, but my team was set.
Yeah. But that
So-
was the. I can't count backwards. I think that was this.
Charizards.
Kimberly Charizard.
Yeah.
So
The next one, which I believe is 1, 2, 3,
Fifth.
4. The fifth slot is Evening's Glaze.
top 5.
Top 5. We're here.
Hey, top 5 boys, we made it.
With this team, I think the consensus was they have a pretty good start to their draft, and it trails off a little bit. Of course, they're like top 3 mons being Mega Charizard X, Tapu Fini, and Fairthorn.
There's a Water Fire Grass core that is really good.
And in just those 3, they cover like a Stealth Rocker, a Defogger, like 2 pretty good walls, as well as a really good like physical sweeper.
Yeah, for sure. And even Tapu Fini bringing the terrain so that Charizard can't get toxic or you can't put Charizard on a timer is really good too. The only issue we have with this core is it kind of spreads itself thin in a way because you're forcing your Fire, Water, Grass, and Dragon Fairy Steel core into 3 mons, which can kind of get annoying seeing as Fini doesn't have reliable recovery. That's kind of it though, because these 3 mons are going to be coming to a lot of the games because they do cover so much, which means it's more predictable. And Charizard losing its immunity to ground is going to be annoying because that means everything gets hit by ground neutrally in your core, which kind of gets supported with like Landorus,
And Vikavolt.
Yeah, Landorus, Vikavolt, and Oricorio, but Oricorio and Vikavolt don't want to take a Stone Edge or a Rock Slide, right?
Slash Stealth Rock.
Illumise, it says Illumise on the dock for anyone wondering, but it's actually Mushana. So,
Which does Mushana have Levitate or not?
Aki.
but like outside of this good core, you have stuff like Gengar to support. You have Vikavolt to support. Milk Tank is amazing. Everyone loves to hate Milk Tank. Pangro is an amazing wall breaker.
I love Pangoro on this team. I don't know.
Yeah,
Just
Pangro's
fits well.
Anyone want to talk about removal or like hazard game?
Removal,
So-
all forced to play, let's say, besides Tapu Fini, all forced to play, how's it called?
Boots.
I guess besides Lando, but who plays Lando like that? But let's say you're forced to play mostly Vikavolt or Mr. Mime almost every game, pretty much, to keep Charizard in the game.
I'd say that he has a pretty good setter as well, and he has both Webs and Vikavolt and Pharaoh, which is consistently a good rocker, spiker.
Yeah, for
Pharaoh
sure.
is a great rocker.
Yeah. And Milk Tank, everyone, like I already said it, but Milk Tank is great. Mr. Mime. Another thing that was not that we didn't like, but we noticed was that a lot of your speed tiers are clustered. Right, so you got Gengar at 110, and then you got Mr. Mime at 100, and you got Miltank at 100, and you got Mega Charizard X at 100, and then Landorus at like 101. So a lot of your speed tiers are kind of clustered together, which isn't always horrible, but faster Pokemon are going to be able to take advantage of that, and then there's going to be a drop somewhere because your speed tiers
And
are
it's also really easy to plan for that, as you really only have to hit one speed to creep like 5 different mons.
Yeah.
So, another thing that I love about this team is Vikavolt with slow Volt Switch. Just for initiative, especially when you have things like Gengar, who's a frail mon, so that you can get initiative into it without having to take a hit after using the Volt Switch, or even with if they have rocks up, but you need to get into the Charizard, you can Volt Switch into it and not necessarily take a hit, but except for the rocks damage, and then Mega Evolve in Roost or Mega Evolve in Attack Back. So
Even sorry, my bad.
Oh no, I was done with my point.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say even like Parting Shot from Pangoro is really nice for Gengar, and even like getting in Zard for free. Because I'm pretty sure Pangoro is on the slower side, right? Especially if you want to like bulky band.
Yeah, 50 or 60.
Yeah. So that's definitely really good. But yeah, for sure, the team overall, good team, really good team.
Top 5.
Top 5.
Top 5.
So number 4.
Well, coming to the top 4.
We have who is this, guys?
Guys, this is the Milwaukee Bewares, but they're on their alt account, so don't worry.
Wolfie BGC, the WBE Season 3 champion.
Oh man.
Go ahead and tell him why you love this team so much, Sammy.
I don't know. I just enjoy watching Wolfie's videos with my favorite mons being, of course, Blastoise, Tornadus, Jigglypuff, Weezing, the Ocean Excadrill, Golem, and Mandibuzz. I think
the only thing I don't like is that there's no
guy.
death fodder. The death fodder is here. You need the death fodder to Pokemon.
Comfy, Golem, change my mind.
No, bro. You gotta sack Gengar every game.
Well,
yeah, but yeah, go ahead.
Looking at this team, I think one of the only problems I personally had was Tornadus T and Mandibuzz. I like Mandibuzz with the Sand team. Of course, supporting it with Overcoat and not hitting any damage from the Sand. But I don't feel like Tornadus fits in that much as a second flying type. And as a tier 1, you could have probably gotten something way more fitting.
Especially with Mega Blastoise as like a special wall breaker. You don't really need like a strong Hurricane from Tornadus.
Yeah. And Hurricane is actually gonna like get half to 50, I'm pretty sure, if the Sand is up.
But he still needed to draft something fast because his speed tier is actually quite slow without the Sand.
130, 110 is alright. Or wait, what is Jolteon? 130, right?
If Tornadus is gone, Jolteon, I think 110, and that's it. And the next one is Excadrill. So
Jolteon's 130,
right?
Its attack is
yeah, 130.
Oh, man.
Yeah, its special attack is 110.
So
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's pretty fast. But Jolteon with hidden power, obviously, in this league is much better than it was before. So I think Jolt is fine on this team. With Golem on the same team, just like stacking ground weaknesses in this like little area here could be annoying. But obviously, trapping other steals is nice. Being able to Fire Punch a Ferrothorn or something is gonna be super. It can be super nice. It's not the most necessary, I think, and I think Comfy is literally here just to defog. Or I guess it's like Calm Mind Sweep, I guess, but Comfy kind of just looks here.
I mean, he has Delusion, so he probably wins the whole league. But
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, I don't know how they didn't put that in tier 1, but like,
For sure.
I'll be honest, I don't think it's tier 5.
Yeah, Delusion I feel like is definitely a tier 4, but you know what? He took advantage of it.
It's a good tier 5.
Another thing is your removal is like actually probably one of, if not the best, because look at this. You got Blastoise, who's a viable remover, Tornadus, who's a viable remover, Weezing, who's a viable remover, Comfy,
I don't think
Excadrill.
normal Weezing gets default, Comey.
Oh, does it not? I'm dumb.
No, it doesn't.
Don't worry. That's still even without Weezing. Jolteon's a good remover. Mandibuzz is a good remover. So your removal game is kind of insane. Gigalith sets rocks. Weezing sets T-Spikes. Drill can set rocks. Golem can set rocks. So your hazard game is really good. And definitely getting things to chip around, dancing around to get enough chip for a drill to sweep is definitely looking very realistic with this team.
Absolutely.
And
Besides these minor changes and speed tier, I think this is a great team.
Mhm.
Deserve top 4.
And to top 3, the big 3 of the PDL Draft League. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the Toronto Torcats.
Who's their coach?
Yeah. If their coach were here, he could do the opening for his team.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, go on.
Yeah, so going into the draft, I didn't have too much of a plan. I feel like I'm a bit biased to talk about my team's strengths, but I think that with like Slowbro along with Hitmontop and Landorus as intimidators, I can take physical hits pretty nicely, especially with Galarian Weezing. I think the main problem with this team is definitely going to be the speed. Mostly because it doesn't like cover enough ground. You have Kangaskhan, Landorus, Weavile, and Durant hitting over 100, and then you have Chandelure at 80, and then everything else at like 50 and below. So it's going to be pretty easy to like make sure you're outspeeding this team, which is kind of something I might need to fix. And another issue that you guys pointed out when we were discussing all this is I really overlooked the need for a dragon type. So I just kind of at the end of the draft had one pick left, stuck with 40 points. So I grabbed Turtonator, which I might need to try and upgrade later on. But
yeah,
I'd say those are two of the biggest flaws if you guys want to now step in.
Yeah, so
I think the special wall is also a big problem.
Lack of a special wall. Yo, sorry, my bad.
No, go.
Yeah, lack of a special wall kind of forces like Credilli to be max Spadef, which isn't horrible, but I mean it is a wall. But then you got Hitmontop and Electros who kind of become liable to be assault vested. But the reason, like we've only talked about like weaknesses so far, but the reason we put this so high is because his physical bulk is kind of insane, right? So you have Slowbro, and like Credilli physical Landorus, but the biggest thing was this double intimidate core with Landorus and Hitmontop, with both of them having U-turn, being able to pivot back and forth, and then Slowbro being able to take advantage of that, get a toxic off, teleport into Spec Shandy or power up Punch Mega Kangaskhan and just kind of run through a team. Durant, wide lens Durant to kind of fix the coastal problem. I mean, just like imagine being out against with Durant imagine having Durant out with a Hone Claws against something with a -1 attack, so that you can get the Hone Claws off and just like sweep. But like the amount of Pokemon that abuse the physical weakness that Landorus and Hitmontop kind of help the team with is really great. Like Turtonator, even though it probably won't be here for too long, can get a Smash off. Durant can get a Home Claws off. Shandy can get a Specs Fire Blast off. Weavile can dance. Like the team takes advantage of the incredible physical bulk. The weaknesses, like we said, was the speed issue, which isn't always horrible, and the Spadef issue. But if like Turtonator got swapped out for like something with better Spadef, and then the team could definitely obviously work. Like it's got all the right pieces except for a Spadef wall.
Well said.
Credilli
it's a good team.
As a rocker?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Credilli gets rocks.
That and
so 2 rockers with
Durant gets rocks too, even though he's probably not.
Well, that's interesting. I'm definitely running defensive Durant with rocks.
Wait, Durant doesn't get rocks.
See, you lied.
I'm a liar, bro. I'm a
I was
liar.
gonna say.
Anyway, default options with Lando, Weezing, That's it, I think.
Yeah, I think
And
that's it.
and with rapid spin options from Hitmontop and Turtonator, it's definitely okay in the hazard game. I think it's missing a bit of more reliable rockers.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, besides that, that's a pretty okay team, and it has Kangaskhan, so yeah, Lando T,
Find me a
things never
Kangaskhan
change,
switch-in.
and
Yeah.
Lando will probably never, so top 3. Not bad.
All right, so now that we have the top 2, if only the coach for the number 2 team were here as well.
This is actually so off, dude.
Man, I wonder who that could be. I mean, we don't have pages to check.
So Adolf,
I guess we'll be late.
Adolf. So this is Adolf's team.
Oh no.
What do you think of your team? And don't say trash because we talked to him about this.
You're right. You guys told me to stop being down on myself and stop saying trash. So
Yeah. Don't say
I'll say
garbage.
it's
Don't
hot
say
garbage
garbage.
instead.
I knew you could say that.
Tell us about your hot garbage team.
knew you were gonna say that. But for real though,
but for real, I think the team's fun. There's a few things I wouldn't change about it. Chris actually brought up a very good point in that I don't really have the best ground spam, and that's probably what I see as the weakest part about my team, other than Edgequake. Is that I don't have a good EQ spam because Steelix is only base 85 attack. Otherwise, I think the Firewater Grass is my favorite part of the team.
yeah, for sure.
Bandit Steel
I mean,
is coming.
Bandit
Steelix.
Steelix.
Base 200 defense, man.
Yeah, but outside of the Edgequake weakness, there's really not too much that this team suffers from. Like speed tiers, right? You got Noivern, Galvantula, super fast, Victini, Lycanroc to finish that. Venusaur, it like single-handedly will take care of your ground and rock weaknesses, which is why we decided to put it over the Torcast last team. Iceman with Cryogonal is really good. Cryogonal also spins. Galvantula sets webs for Teeny, so Teeny doesn't need to be banded or doesn't need to be scarfed every week. Noivern, obviously awesome threat. Great Dragon. Just a lot of great options here and a lot of versatility and synergy is why we put it so high.
Yeah.
Though Steelix is not the best EQ spammer, I really like it in this team for some reason. I don't know, I think it fits.
It's the colors.
It's the colors, yeah. It's the colors.
Yeah, man.
Definitely the colors. I mean, look at the first 4, man. Oh my god.
That's pretty aesthetic, boys.
Some versatility in the colors, man.
You already know that when he was drafting the team, he was like, "Caleb, let's try and make the colors look nice." And he did.
I mean, who doesn't?
Nah, man, that's actually why I chose them in the order I did.
I believe it.
Victini being absolutely scary mon, learning so many good moves. Venusaur being the most bulky motherfucker in the universe. Fucking hate him on.
I love that mon, bro. You already know.
So I'm gonna run growth against Levin.
I'm actually so
Oh, I can't wait to see
looking forward to see Cryogonal and Lycanroc like popping off, or Tornadus. I feel like Tornadus does a lot, and people don't see it. Actually, a great life orb user, and with the stickies out, it's actually going to do a lot of work, I believe.
Especially Tornadus is also like a great utility mon if you need it for that because of Prankster as well as it getting knockoff and U-turn.
Yeah.
So if you need it as a wall breaker, it works. But especially like if you need a prankster thunder wave, so that if you don't want to set up webs, but you still want Big Teeny to be able to like sweep with a band, you can use that to kind of cripple some of your opponent's faster mons.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a great team. Having rocks or Steelix, Lycanroc, having sorry, the Defog with Noivern, Tornadus. I think that's it.
Yeah.
And Rapid Spin with Hitmonchan, Cryogonal.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, I think.
Yeah, really great team. Now, for the number 1 spot, if only we had the coach in call with us right now. If only we had that.
If only we did. Sadly, we don't. So
But ladies and gentlemen,
I don't like talking about my team. You go on.
we do indeed have the coach of Wash Your Hands in Sammy himself. Sammy,
Damn.
go ahead and talk about your team.
I really don't like to. Can you?
Alright, so his team sucks, alright? So this is why... No, I'm just kidding.
I'm actually top last.
So this is why we put him at 1. We're actually doing this in reverse.
Yeah.
Reverse order, boys.
Reverse order. So the reason we like his team so much is the incredible amount of options and like the high caliber offensive mons, like Terrakion, Alakazam, like awesome physical attacker, amazing special attacker. Is this post DLC?
Don't think so.
Oh, I was gonna say like Nasty Bot Mega Alakazam is kind of nuts.
No, it's not. No.
Okay, yeah, okay. Either way, Terrakion, amazing breaker. Alakazam, amazing special attacker. Right, and then you have like stuff like Sneasel, Garchomp, Blastoise, and Rotom can kind of go either way with defensive and bulky removal. Fortress always removes, and like amazing Rock Setter. Braviary, good Defiance user, good Defog user. And then the team is kind of, if you look at Garchomp offensive like presence, the team is kind of offensive. Like you got Alakazam, Terrakion, Garchomp, Sneasel, and then you've got pivots and walls. Like Rotom Heat can be really slow, so you get the slow pivot into Alakazam or something. Like you've got these bulky
Fortress.
Yeah, for sure, Fortress with Volt. But like you've got these defensive crutches here and pivots more so that you get these huge hitters in with Terrakion, Alakazam, all these great options. Now the only issue is his Rock Setters, right? So your Rock Setters consist of Terrakion, Garchomp, and Fortress, and you're never gonna run Rocks on Terrakion. Or you never want to, at least.
You never know, no? Well, maybe I'm gonna do it just to prove your point.
Do it, I dare you. But yeah, that's kind of that. That was really the only quote unquote issue for a bulky offensive or more offensive team. That it is, it's amazing, right? It's not supposed to stall you out. It's supposed to destroy you, and that's exactly what it does.
It has everything it needs. It has Toxic Spikes, Stealth Rock, really good pivot, good removal options. It has good defoggers, wish support, good Z-move users.
Yep.
And I think amazing breakers. So that was all I wanted, pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Really solid team. So is that it? Anyone else want to add to that?
I think
I got nothing to add.
All right. So just to recap the order, from first to last, you have Wash Your Hands, the Los Angeles Retravs, Toronto Torcats, Dallas Diggersby, Evenings Glaze, Canberra Charizards, Hacks with Heat, Philadelphia Flygon, Houston Boldors, Guilford Gardevoirs, Singapore Greninja, and how do you say that last word? I forgot.
Venetian.
Venetian Victinis. So that's your PRs. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, not to hate. This isn't to hate on anyone's team, or just be rude and call out only weaknesses. But just from what we see from the teams alone, not even about your playing ability, your coaching skill. This is just what we have noticed and taken the time to observe. But having said all that, I hope you have a great day. Thank you for watching the video, even if you just skipped to this part. Love you guys. Stay safe. Wash your hands. And
Good luck in the matches.
Good luck in the matches, bro. Anyone else want to say anything? Anyone else want to say anything?
Thanks for watching, definitely. And
Yes.
thanks to you guys for taking the effort
Mm-hmm.
to get through all of these.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.